When people talk about foodie towns, Denver is one that typically doesn't come to mind. And when people think about the Michelin Guide, most people don't think about places that are actually affordable to eat at. So in today's video, I'm gonna highlight a few different Michelin restaurants around the Mile High City, and I can only spend $50 at each of them. So let's get into it. So $50 might not sound like a lot of money to spend at a Michelin restaurant, but here's the thing. Michelin doesn't just recognize restaurants serving fancy food at sky-high prices, they also award restaurants serving incredible, affordable food. And that's where their Bib Gourmand distinction comes in. Since 1995, Michelin has awarded the Bib Gourmand distinction to restaurants serving high-quality food at affordable prices. Fun fact, the Bib in Bib Gourmand is actually short for Bibendum, which is the real name of the Michelin Man who is the official mascot of Michelin Tire. You know, this little marshmallow-looking guy. There are over 400 Bib Gourmand restaurants in the United States, with even more coming in 2026. Denver is home to 10 Bib Gourmand restaurants, 30 recommended restaurants, and a few with 1- and 2-star distinctions. By the way, if y'all want more information on the Michelin Guide, or to see if there's one available for your city or a place you plan to visit, I will be linking that up here in the cards, as well as down in the video description. There is also an app that you can download to your phone. Now that y'all understand what Bib Gourmand is, let's head to our first stop. So our first stop is going to be Mr. Oso down here in Rhino, which is short for River North Arts District. This area used to be super industrial, and basically they've kind of repurposed all of the buildings down here to be restaurants and breweries and bars and shops. And anytime people come to visit Denver, I always recommend that people come check this area out because it's super cool, and there's like lots of street art and stuff, and I just really enjoy this area of Denver. But speaking of food, Mr. Oso has been around here for 6 years now. I believe they opened in 2019, and this is their original location. They actually have 2 other locations around town, and there's also one in the airport. And I've been to the one in the airport, but if you know anything about airport food, you know it's nothing like the real deal. So this is my first time actually eating at Mr. Oso. With that being said, I believe all this food totaled up to about $36, and I had to try some of their staples that are on their menu. So they are known for Latin American food, and of course, I had to get some of their coconut rice, and it has kind of a Creole sauce on top, and then their Birria Tacos, which they are known for, as well as their churros, and everyone says their churros are incredible. So we're gonna try this coconut rice first, which coconut rice to me sounds like a super weird thing to eat, but I've heard it's really good. It is super creamy. It doesn't taste like coconut at all, in my opinion. It's got some little sliced red peppers and onions on top. It's just so good. I'm gonna come back to that, but there's Birria Tacos here that are just coated in cheese. And I do not want these to get to room temperature because we love a cheese pool. I'm very excited about these. Nice, greasy tortilla shell there. Of course, oh, there we go. Nice little cheese pool. Ooh. Got some onions in there. Got to dip it in that consomme. Are these greasy and messy? Yes. Are they delicious? Also yes. And last but not least, the next thing we're going to be trying on their menu here is going to be their churros, which these are little skinny churros. They're little bitty guys, but I've heard they are insanely good. This caramel drizzle, incredible. I've got a friend who is like the churro man, and I'd be curious to see what he has to say about these, but they passed my churro test. So I got to Mr. Oso at 11:30. They open at 11 a.m. right now, and I'm here on a Monday, and by noon this place was packed. So prepare to just maybe have to wait for a table or something if you do show up later in the day or at a popular eating time. But everything I had was really good, and before tip and service fees and all that, my food was $36. So really not bad. You could easily come here with a friend, your friend gets another entree, and you split, you know, the churros and the coconut rice and get out of there for under $50 or right at $50 before tip and whatnot. The coconut rice was definitely my favorite thing I tried, followed up by the churros. I just love a good sweet treat. And the Birria Tacos, last but definitely not least, were also really good. I want to try their carne asada tacos next. I've heard those are also very, very delicious. But let's go ahead and jump on the bike. I've got a couple hours until we go to our next stop and grab some ramen. So y'all know that I love a good history lesson, and over on Facebook, I've actually been giving a few sneak peeks of this video while I've been filming it. And a lot of y'all have been asking if the Michelin Guide is the same thing as the Michelin Tire Company. So let me give y'all a brief rundown. The Michelin Guide started in 1900 as a free travel guide by French tire brothers André and Edouard Michelin to encourage more road travel and hence boost tire sales. The guide offered things like maps, gas stations, mechanics, plus hotel and restaurant recommendations, and what eventually became nicknamed the Little Red Guidebook. Since its first publication in 1900, more than 30 million copies of the Michelin Guide have been distributed worldwide. Today, you can access the Michelin Guide for free via their website, which presently rates over 40,000 establishments in over 25 countries across 4 continents. The Michelin Guide has become world famous, just like their tires, and they no longer just make them for cars. I'm currently running Michelin Scorchers on my Harley-Davidson Lowrider ST, as well as Michelin Anarchy Wilds on the Harley-Davidson Pan America. So something you might not think about when you think about food in Denver is Asian food, but we actually have a pretty good Asian food scene here. And I personally really love ramen. So while we're doing this foodie tour, I decided that one of the spots I wanted to check out with y'all is Glow Noodle House. Now, unlike some of the other spots that we're gonna be checking out in this video, Glow Noodle House only has one location. So this location is off 38th and Tennyson Street, and it's very small, like a typical ramen shop. I actually decided to sit up at their kitchen service area. They do recommend that you get reservations, especially if you're gonna come on like a Friday or Saturday night. Even on a Monday or Tuesday, the busy times like 6 and 7 p.m. can be reserved well in advance. So definitely check that out if you do plan to come here. But I decided to come right at opening at 4 p.m. because I wanted to take advantage of their happy hour and also just be able to talk to y'all without this place being absolutely crowded. So first up is going to be this brisket bao bun. I've never had a bao bun before, so I'm excited for this. And it's got kind of like a barbecue style sauce on it, and then it's got a pickle and of course brisket. And I've got brisket falling out of my buns here. It's like a soft little sandwich. And I love that the barbecue sauce isn't overpowering. It's different. Y'all know I'm not like the biggest sandwich fan, so this was kind of a new thing for me to try. Would I order one again? Sure, definitely. Would I make this my whole meal? No. Next up to try here is going to be this filet skewer with some chimichurri on top. You can never go wrong with steak. This also has like little pieces of onion in between each little piece of filet. It's really good. To the main dish here, this is why you come to Glow Noodle House. It is for their ramen, and this is the shrimp and pork tantanmen. Again, I might have said that wrong, sorry y'all, but normally when I go and get ramen, I usually get like a miso ramen or a tonkatsu, and I really like creamy style broths. And so when I was looking at the menu, they recommended this one to me. It's got ground pork in it. It's also got some shrimp. Try some of the broth out. That's super good. The best part about ramen is that it's polite to slurp. And those noodles are incredible. Great, great flavor. This ramen is delicious, but there's one more thing to try out, and I don't want to fill up on this ramen here, and that is their yuzu cheesecake. People talk about this in the reviews of this place all the time and how good it is, so I am very excited to try it. And it obviously doesn't really look like a cheesecake. It's kind of like deconstructed, but I don't care. I bet it's gonna be amazing. Between the creaminess of the cheesecake base and then the sweetness of the yuzu and then the saltiness and the crunchiness of the almond crumble that's on here, it honestly just all works so well together. It's really good. The official tab for all of that food, which was a ton of food, by the way. Like, I took most of my ramen home in a to-go cup, but 47 bucks and some change. And when they bring you your tab, it comes in this cute little guy. I guess I'll keep the tradition going of rating all my food like I did at the first spot. So definitely, I think that the ramen was definitely number 1 here. Definitely my favorite thing that I had. The yuzu cheesecake, definitely number 2. Can't get mad about cheesecake. And then I would say that the filet skewer was also great. And the bao bun just wasn't, just wasn't for me. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't my favorite thing. But overall, I would totally go back and eat there. That was great. That's some of the best ramen that I've had, definitely in Denver. Good spot. Now, y'all know that I love a good Texas-style barbecue joint, and Michelin has actually given out quite a few of their Michelin stars to barbecue joints in Texas, as well as over on the East Coast. And like I've mentioned previously, if you want to check out the Michelin Guide for some food recommendations, I will link that up here in the cards, as well as down in the video description. But here in Colorado, we don't have a Michelin star barbecue joint as of right now. There was one previously, however, it unfortunately closed. So right now, there's only one Michelin recommended barbecue joint, which is just below a Bib Gourmand. It hasn't quite gotten that distinction yet, but that is going to be Smok here in the Rhino Arts District. I was actually down here the other day checking out Mr. Oso and showing that place to y'all. And this place is actually in a spot called The Source. I've never been in this building before. I believe it is a hotel slash kind of food court. I think there's some other restaurants and shops in this place, but they also have a location up in Fort Collins, which is about an hour and a half away. And I believe that that location is a brick and mortar standalone restaurant. But this food's getting cold and I want to eat it while it's still hot. So let's go ahead and dig in. I did get some of their moist brisket. Of course, y'all know that's my favorite cut in barbecue other than beef ribs. I did also get some of their jalapeno cheddar sausage as well as pork belly. And for their sides, I got some of their mac and cheese as well as their spicy creamed corn. Both of these were things that were recommended to me to try out. So I'm very excited to sample all of this. And this was just under $50 before taxes and tip and all of that fun stuff. And this is a ton of food. This is easily a plate for 2 people. So let's dig in. So first up, we're gonna try some of this brisket here, and I'm just gonna pull this apart real quick to show y'all. It is super tender, but look at that fat rendering. It looks delicious. Oh my, 10-10 no notes. The bark is perfectly salty. It's very flavorful. I hate that you guys can kind of see this in my hand right now because like I said, it's been sitting here for a few minutes, so everything looks much drier than it is. But this is so good. I will be back here. Like, I'm already telling y'all right now, I will come back here for this brisket. This Texas barbecue snob is very happy. Next thing on the plate is their jalapeno cheddar sausage. And as y'all know, I'm not the biggest fan of sausage. Anytime I go to a barbecue joint, I would rather get extra brisket or a beef rib or something else. It's kind of like pulled pork for me, but let's give it a whirl. The cheddar was definitely cheddary. It's like they use a sharp cheddar in the sausage or something. And the jalapeno has just the right amount of spice that it's not overpowering. Would I order it again? Sure, as long as I had to split the sausage link with someone, but that's pretty much how I always am anytime I order sausage at a barbecue joint. But one thing I don't order often is gonna be pork belly, and so I figured why not try it? That actually took me by surprise. I was expecting it to have the same kind of salty, smoky flavor as the brisket, and it's sweet, it's delicious, but it tasted nothing like I thought it was gonna taste like. Would I order it again? Sure, but would I probably order like a 1/4 pound of it like I did today? Yes, just like a little morsel. The best part about the barbecue is that it didn't need any of their house-made sauce to be good. So again, 10-10, no notes. Final 2 things on the menu to try are gonna be their mac and cheese and their creamed corn. Y'all know I'm a fiend for good sides at a barbecue joint. So without further ado, I am a sucker for a good creamy mac and cheese. And I believe they make this with white cheddar. Whatever is in this is like crack. It is so good. And last but not least is going to be their creamed corn. I've heard it's a little spicy and they have it kind of dressed up like an elote. So let's dig in. It is just a little spicy, but it's great. If I had to choose one side, I would choose the mac and cheese, but I get why their creamed corn is so popular. Having tried everything on this tray in front of me, I am actually very surprised that this spot only has a recommendation from Michelin and not a Bib Gourmand award. I definitely think it is worthy of it, so we'll see what they get in the future. But I would definitely come back here. I would definitely order more brisket. Honestly, I don't have anything bad to say about anything on this tray. So snobby Texas barbecue girl approved. So I totally did not do this on purpose, but I think I saved the best for last here. I am at the Ginger Pig here in Denver. They also have a location in Boulder, and they are known for Asian street food, is kind of their slogan. But technically on the Michelin Guide, they're categorized as Chinese food, and the owner slash head chef did study in China for a while. She did kind of like a study abroad program when she was younger, and that's where a lot of the Chinese influence and stuff on the menu came from. But if you do look at their menu, they do have little flags and stuff on the menu that kind of tell you where each dish was inspired from. With that being said, I did get a little bit of everything here, and the first thing I got is a Korean dog. So obviously this is not a Chinese inspired dish, but it is something on their menu that I've been told you have to try. I also got their char siu, which is what got them their Bib Gourmand award. So of course, had to try that while I'm here. And last but not least, definitely not least, is going to be this Hong Kong style French toast. I have heard this is so good. The waitress told me I had to try it. Oh, and of course, lest we forget, the cucumber salad. This comes with the entree, so you can order one during happy hour if you want. It comes in a little bit bigger of a dish, or you can just get a little side one with your entree. I will say that all of this totaled to $54 before tip, so I am a little over budget on this one, but this is a ton of food. I mean, this is easily a meal for two. So I'm definitely gonna have some leftovers, but before we even get there, let's go ahead and dig in. First up on the list of things to try is gonna be the Korean dog. I've never had a Korean dog before, but I've always been told they're really good. I think the cornflake batter is gonna be interesting. So the batter on this thing is very flavorful. The scallions and the sesame seeds on top totally make this very messy, but this is delicious. They actually use a Nathan's hot dog for the hot dog that's inside. And normally I actually think Nathan's hot dogs are way too salty. So I know some people are gonna come at me for that opinion, but Nathan's hot dogs just typically aren't my favorite. But in this concoction, this is perfect. I would totally order another one of these. This is the best hot dog I've ever had.
Isn't it kind of dumb? When I finally had it, I was like, yo.
I get the hype. I get why everyone orders these.
I get it.
Next up is this cucumber salad here. I've already had a couple bites and it is very fresh, a little spicy, but delicious. Now, this is their char siu. This is the entree that got them their Bib Gourmand award, and it's basically a barbecued pork shoulder. I think I'm gonna go with this piece right here to start with, because it is a little fatty, but it looks really, really good. Oh my God, this is insane. It is very tender. Like when I'm holding it in the chopsticks, it actually feels like it'd be really tough. But as soon as you eat it, it just like falls apart in your mouth. It is incredible. If I had glasses like Jordan the Stallion, I'd be throwing them up against this tent wall behind me. That's how good this is. This is the best thing I have eaten on this foodie tour. I completely understand why this won them an award. And last but not least, the final thing I'm gonna try here tonight is going to be their Hong Kong French toast. And it has cornflake crusted toast, kaya coconut jam, sweetened condensed milk, and butter. House favorite. Once you kind of break into it, you can kind of see some of that stuff on the inside. Book me a flight to China and let me just go eat for a week straight. If this is what they're doing over there, I want it. This is incredible. This is sweet, but not too sweet. And it has just enough like condensed milk and stuff going on in there to where it doesn't taste dry. I don't know if I've made this apparent or not while I've been sitting here eating and talking with y'all, but this food is incredible. I would reorder everything. I know I've been kind of telling y'all what I liked most at each place that I've been to, but this one's gonna be really hard because all three of these were incredible. Well, y'all, that is going to do it for this little food tour of Denver. Thanks for coming along and checking out some new spots with me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know I don't do a ton of little food tour videos with y'all, but maybe we'll do some more in the future. But until the next one, I will see y'all on the road. Later, y'all.